This painting captivates anyone who lays eyes on it. Such is the beauty and meticulous detail of this portrait that, with a few subtle elements, the painting conveys far more than it initially seems. Let's begin with the title, Why Vanitas? This word refers to a highly popular trend during the Baroque period. Vanitas Paintings, a genre that typically consisted of still lifes and arrangements with references to the fragility of life and the inevitable certainty of death, which comes for us all sooner or later. We can complement this meaning with Latin maxims like tempus fugit, carpe diem, or memento mori. These Vanitas paintings serve as a warning to the viewer, reminding them of their mortal condition. It is common for such paintings to include skulls or skeletons among objects of worldly pleasure, reinforcing the idea that death triumphs over all. Returning to this particular work, here, that notion is more subtle, making it an extraordinary piece. In the upper part of the painting, emerging from the darkness of the background, we can see grapes, a fruit often associated with abundance or even pleasure. This reference can be traced back to Greco-Roman mythology, to the god of wine and his infamous bacchanals. However, fruit does not last forever. It will soon decay, serving as yet another reminder of the fleeting and transient nature of our existence. As for the central figure in the painting, her identity remains one of its greatest mysteries. With her long red hair, she physically resembles the young women who posed for artists of the pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood, such as John Everett Millais or Dante Gabriel Rossetti. However, another theory I have come across suggests that she could be Lucrezia Borgia, the illegitimate daughter of Pope Alexander VI. 3 years after painting this portrait, Frank Cadogan Cowper created one of the most controversial artworks in the history of the Vatican. The artist envisioned a scene set in 1501 where the illegitimate daughter of Pope Alexander VI, Lucrezia Borgia, took her father's place in a formal gathering. Cowper invented this provocative moment, depicting two noblemen lifting Lucrezia's dress so that a Franciscan friar could kiss her shoe. Although Lucrezia Borgia was indeed a historical figure and played a significant role in her family's political affairs, there is no evidence that she ever took her father's place in a Vatican meeting or that the event depicted in the painting ever occurred. Cowper drew inspiration from the rumors and legends surrounding the Borgias, a family accused of corruption, intrigue, and excesses within the papal court. However, many of these stories never actually happened. So the question remains, could the woman in this portrait truly be Lucrezia Borgia, or is she simply a creation of the artist who happens to resemble her? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Continuing with the symbolism of the painting, the woman holds a silver hand mirror, emphasizing her vanity, and also wears various pieces of jewelry, including a long pearl necklace. These objects, along with the gold and crimson fabric, are perfectly aligned with the artist's contemporary era, the fashion of the early 20th century, and the influence of the arts and crafts movement developed by William Morris in the United Kingdom in the late 19th century. However, the rest of the elements in her attire and head accessories belong to a different time period and appear outdated. This is because the artist was heavily influenced by Italian aesthetics, which undeniably dominate the painting. The headband adorned with a jewel on her forehead is called a ferroniere, a style that was very common during the Renaissance in the 15th century, worn by women of high status. Similarly, the black and gold serpentine pattern on the dress sleeves also reflects this historical influence. One might assume that the model's attire was crafted according to Cowper's unique design. However, historian Scott Buckle writes that the source for the costume was the portrait of Margherita Paleologo by the Renaissance artist Giulio Romano, painted around 1531, and that Edward Burne-Jones was inspired by the same source in his watercolor Sidonia von Bork 1560. What distinguishes Cowper's work with equal success is the model's proud and self-satisfied facial expression. The downward gaze, the fact that her eyes are almost closed to the world around her, completes the allegory of self-absorption, the inability to recognize the insignificance of a fleeting mortal life in the grand scheme of things. With this painting, Cowper reminds us that neither the beautiful woman in her luxurious clothing nor the ripe grapes in the background can flourish forever. In time, both will wither and die. As of today, this painting is part of the Royal Academy collection in London. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this artwork captivated everyone in its time with its beauty. Cowper painted it as his diploma work upon graduating from the Royal Academy. Initially, he wanted to present Iseult the Fair, Queen of Cornwall, as his diploma work, but it was rejected for being too large. Cowper was clearly very attached to Vanity, so much so that after selling the painting, he bought it back in 1921 because it was one of the pieces he truly wanted to keep. However, in the end, his own vanity intervened, and he donated the artwork to the Royal Academy collection, knowing it would serve as an impressive legacy for future generations to admire after his death. After all, that was also the message of the painting. No matter how much he loved it, he couldn't take it with him. I'd love to know what you think of this artwork and whether you had seen it before. In my opinion, it's one of my favorites, and I truly felt I had to share it with all of you. Thank you so much for watching the video until the end. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a comment and subscribe to keep learning about art every week. If you'd like to support the channel and would love to have a reproduction of this painting in your home, you can purchase it through the link in the description. There, you'll find a selection of historical paintings that I have personally chosen so you can collect your favorite and keep it for a lifetime. Shipping is free worldwide, and I can assure you that you'll receive a piece as faithful as possible to the original artwork. Thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.